The migrant crisis has kind of come to a peak here in New York City. At this point, we're about 110,000 migrants currently in New York City. Mayor Adams has come out and say that the migrant crisis will destroy New York City. It's not really mincing words there. I'm starting to report on some unprecedented pushback from just ordinary citizens. I mean, everywhere from the tactics that the protesters are taking in Staten Island, which are getting pretty physical. I mean, they stopped a bus, to here in Manhattan at the Roosevelt, AOC tried to have a little presser, and it was immediately shouted down. Like, she couldn't even get 2 words out without an avalanche of screams from protesters. So the 2 men who were the loudest voices there, who seemed to organize that effort, showed up the other night at an event that Governor Hochul was addressing a crowd, and the 2 individuals snuck in. According to them, they snuck in. They weren't invited. And they just started hurling orders and accusations at the governor, basically expressing their displeasure with the migrant situation and how it's being handled. We set out to get access to these guys to hear what their concerns were, because we, get them when they're not screaming, get them just talking. That's where I came in. That was my job. So I reached out and made an appointment to meet with them in their own hometown in Kew Gardens, Queens. So David Rem, the kind of guy who's taking the lead, he's managing the campaign. The other individual, Rinaldi, he's running for the 24th district because they heard that there was going to be no Republican running for that seat. So the incumbent was going to be unopposed, and they figured they'd throw their hat in the ring. Rinaldi would be the candidate. David Rem would be the campaign manager ad hoc, and they were going to take a stab at it because they didn't feel, in their own words, they felt like they weren't being represented at all. And that's kind of the sentiment I was getting from the seriously angry people in Staten Island as well. They felt like they had no voice in their own local government. And if history has shown us anything, it's that when people feel like they have no voice in their own government, it gets dicey.